One more video prior to landfall here of Super Typhoon Uwan, also known as Fung-wong internationally. The storm system is beginning to get a little bit raggedy here, and what I mean by that is the low-level center is not this tight defined circulation in the eye. You do have a broad circulation here, and that means that the wind field is rather large, but at least, I think at landfall, we're not going to have a super typhoon here. In fact, JMA is not calling it a super typhoon. Only Bagyo is. Even Dvorak analysis, we're seeing a little weakening, but that doesn't mean it will be weak. Please, please, please understand that. Signal force warnings are in place across a good swath of the Philippines, including parts of Manila where they're probably going to get up to signal force 4. There, 5 is in a place from Pangasinan out towards Aurora. Or it's not 5, 4 and 5 from Pangasinan out towards Aurora, but that's probably going to get pushed up to a 5. So there's a swath there where you're going to be looking at damaging winds as this crosses. And I just want to make sure everybody throughout the today, tonight into tomorrow morning is prepped inside. Anywhere inside kind of like this cone of air, obviously, that's where the core of this is going to go. But also just the overall wind field. I know classes, according from the Office of the President, all classes are shut down at this time throughout the day here on Monday. No school. I know the storm's passing on Sunday, but Monday there's no school. And you see the signal force 5 for Carino, parts of Aurora, and signal force 4 now in place for Tarlac, Pampanga, Bulacan, and I wouldn't be surprised if 4. Now this is all after the storm hit Catanduanes, got some serious damage taking place out there. Based on reports we're getting, serious damage, flooding, everything. Even some of our weather watchers have been sending in stuff to me via Facebook Messenger, and I truly appreciate everybody who sends in stuff like that. Just make sure if you do that, you do it safely, and you take those photos and everything like that. So here's a look at satellite picture. Yeah, even here, you can see the cloud tops becoming a little bit less intense. So like 12 hours ago, there was just a lot of red here. Look at all that. In the last few frames, it's not so much there. That's those cloud tops starting to warm a little bit, indicating a slight weakening just prior to landfall. So probably not going to have a super typhoon at landfall, but still like a Cat 3 equivalent. It's not a joke. And crossing just near Belair, exiting around Pangasinan, storm surge, wind threat there too. Even Manila still could look at some tropical storm strength winds, but at least you're not getting kind of the core of this. But when I say that, don't let it surprise you that the center line is passing north of you and you get some gusty conditions. I think there's going to be people going, what? Especially with just the overall width of this storm, it does have a pretty decent wind field. So you still could be looking at some fairly strong winds even closer to the Metro Manila area as those winds kick up into the Manila Bay. Now, I do hope I'm wrong, and I hope it doesn't impact you at all. I truly do. Most forecasters would hope they're right, but just based on everything I'm seeing, I do think that you could get some bands kind of kicking in from the south that could get gust up to typhoon strength, but definitely not sustain from everything I'm seeing at this point. But I'm just a guy on YouTube, and I'm very tired because I just got off of 2.5 hour stream. If you watched that stream, thank you very much. I'm probably repeating a lot of the stuff I said in that, but I did want to give a quick update for everybody that just watches these videos separately from the live stream. So big shout out to everybody that supports this channel, though, on our YouTube channel and everything like that, our Patreon, continuing to give the latest information on this storm system and where it's headed, because I've been tracking this one for about a week now, and now we're right near landfall, likely along Belair, along the coast of Aurora, crossing over towards Pangasinan, but even places like San Fernando, Magat area. And then one other thing I do want to mention real quick is just the rainfall threat. That's also going to be a big issue in some of these spots where you could be looking at, 2 to 3 to 400 millimeters in spots. But even those areas that don't get the rain, especially in low-lying spots, that rain has to go somewhere. I've been saying this for a while. It's going to go down the streams into the valleys, increase that flooding with that. So river level rise is also going to be an issue. Be sure, I'm not an official agency by any means. I never claim to be. I never want to be. I try to relay this information. I don't want that pressure from the guys that do this. They shout out to Bagyo and everything, and your local NDRMCs. Those are the people you should be asking for, should I evacuate? So as always, though, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you want to help me out. That's the big thing. And stay safe out there. Okay, friends? All right.